Hey everyone, welcome to the Guitar Daily Workout System 3 introduction. This video is going to share with you what is in the Guitar Daily Workout System 3. And again, these are workouts, so these are exercise programs for the guitar, really to get your hands strengthened and in sync and playing well together, getting good tone, but also learning the patterns that you really need for the guitar. And in this system, we're going to be going through some new stuff. So in System 2, it was almost a reiteration of System 1, but hopefully it really sealed it in. If you finish System 2, I think you'll see the power of these systems. They really do work. If you do the work and you put the time in, they will work for you. So in System 3, we're going to start into some new things. First of all, we're going to do a finger gymnastics like we always do. This one is a really simple thing. We're just going to, because a lot of times you do some sort of exercises, finger gymnastics, just starting on finger 1, we're going to start something where every single iteration of this, we start on a different finger. So that way you get used to having different fingers starting out these patterns. But again, these are more like exercises just to sync your left and right hand, so they're not very musical or not useful that way, but they are really useful for being able to sync up your left and right hands. All right, so then we start into the meat of things. The first thing that we're going to start into is interval training. Interval training is one of the most important things you can do on the guitar. It's a geometric instrument, so you can see the intervals repeating over and over again on the guitar. And you know that because you know the fifth, for instance, always looks like that, with the exception on the G string and the B string, where you stretch one fret because of the tuning of the instrument. So every time you run into a major third, it's always going to look like that on this string set or that on that string set. It's always one fret apart and one string apart. So we're going to do some exercises that really go through each interval of the diatonic sequence. The diatonic sequence is just a fancy way of saying the major scale. So of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, if you're in the key of C. So if you're here, we're going to see all of the notes of the scale, and we're going to do the same thing going down. But we're going to put them all together in this. It's going to sort of go like this. Now you can see in that there's some power, because I know, like, oh, there's my seventh. So no matter where I go, if I'm on the note E, I know where my seventh is going to be. Or if I'm on, if I want to know where my seventh down is, it looks like that. So again, if I'm on my note E, there's my seventh down. And you'll start associating those geometries with sound. And that's what you want to do. You really want your body to respond to the sound, not just the mere geometry of the instrument. But we're going to do a nice twist on this. We're going to start with second finger on the G string, second finger on the D string, first finger on the G string, and so on. First finger on the D string, and so on. And then finally fourth finger on the D string, and then fourth finger on the A string. So you'll learn all of your interval shapes from all of your finger combinations. You'll just know, if somebody says play a sixth, you'll know that that's where the sixth is for a major sixth. All right. So that's intervals. The next thing that we're going to learn, and this is going to be one of the most important exercises I think you'll learn in your life on the instrument, honestly. It's a really important thing. I remember when I was studying, one of the challenges is if you're trying to make melody on something, you need to know your arpeggio shapes, because you need to know where the downbeat is on the next chord. So, if I'm going from a D to an E minor and I'm playing a little melody, and I want to go to that E minor chord, I need to know the E minor shape so that I can get to that melody note, and it makes a melodic passage. That's how you make melody, is having the downbeats normally be on one of the chord tones that you're moving to. So knowing your chords is really important. So we're going to go through every variation of all of the cage system arpeggios in one position. So let me give you an example of that. So if we took the C form, and I just went up the C form, and I'm going to do 2 bars on each of these. So if I went 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and and then I'm going to go to the next chord in the D major scale, which is E minor. I'm going to go to the closest E note, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to find my E minor chord. And then I'm going to go to the F sharp minor, G major, A, B minor, and then C sharp diminished. A lot of people don't know this one. And then back to the D. Well, you see the power of that, because if I'm playing and I'm improvising and I'm going from a D chord and I go to the G chord, I can see that G chord shape then all of a sudden, and I can make melody based on that. So you get the idea on that. We're going to go through every single iteration of that on the guitar neck every single week. All right, next thing we're going to do is the pentatonics. You should, after System 2, you should be really good at knowing exactly where your pentatonics are. This one's going to be more physical then. We're going to take pentatonics in 4-note chunks. So if I started in the key of C or A minor, I'm going to start here on this, and I'm going to do... And this one, again, if you've been through the first two, you sort of know this already. But this is just going to be a physical exercise. These are not merely about ascent. These are about you being able to put them really on the guitar neck and use them in a musical way. That's the key to all of this stuff. We don't need to know theory of what to do. We need to be able to have the skills to be able to play the things that we hear and that we hear others doing, to be able to copy them. But we're going to go through every variation of all 5 of the pentatonics that you already know, but we're going to do them in 4-note groups, all the way up and all the way down the neck, every week in a different key. So you're going to learn all 12 keys. You'll be really good at all of your pentatonics by the time you finish this up. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to move from the cage system into 3-on-a-string playing. 3-on-a-string playing for major scales. It's really important for like your legato playing, because you can play 3-on-a-string stuff really quickly. Whereas if I tried to pick that, Guthrie Govan could do it, but most of us mere mortals can't do that. So 3-on-a-string playing is really key, and it also, when I play 3-on-a-string playing, it gets me a further distance, so I go further than if I was just playing. So you can see that gets me another third above that. So anyhow, we're going to go through all of the modes. So we're going to get into modal playing. Modal playing is not all that complicated. I explain it in the lessons a little bit. You're going to go through Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian modes. You're going to do all of the keys all across the guitar neck. You're going to know all of them. So by the end of System 3, you'll really know all of your major scales. And we're going to be doing those also in 4-note groupings, which is really important melodically, because a lot of times you'll hear people use these little melodic patterns with 4-note groupings. So anyhow, that's all that's going to be in System 3. Hopefully this will make a huge impact on your musical life and your playing. And thanks for watching.